So you've decided to expand your herd. You're ready to buy some more goats and bring them into your existing herd. Let's talk about some ways to keep your new goats safe and keep your existing herd safe too along the way. Introducing new goats into your herd should happen in phases. Phase 1 is going to be quarantine. Phase 2 will be introduction. And then phase 3 will be fully moving into the herd. Phase 1, quarantine, can last anywhere from 2 to 12 weeks. If after 2 weeks the goats still look really healthy and in good condition, then maybe you're ready to move to phase 2. If by 2 weeks you're still questioning whether or not these goats are really healthy and something seems off to you, you might want to honor the full 12 weeks. Give them time to really show if they have any symptoms of being sick and then treat those symptoms. If you're new to goat owning, I would also encourage that you have a vet come out. Take a look at your new goats, look them over, get them up to date on a CDT vaccine. If they need any deworming, to have that done too, and make sure they're good to go, because you certainly do not want them to bring a new disease into your beautiful clean herd that you've worked so hard to keep healthy. And that is why this quarantine phase is so important, because you need to take time to really observe those goats and make sure that you're not bringing any new diseases to your existing beautiful healthy herd. Phase 2 is introduction. Ideally, this would happen with your existing herd on one side of the fence and the new goat or goats on the other side of the fence. They can see each other, they can smell each other, they can hear each other, but they can't actually touch each other. Because of the pecking order of goats, goats can be kind of aggressive with one another when it comes to intruders coming into their herd. These new goats, they see as intruders. They don't belong here and they're not part of our herd. So what can we do to make this a little bit easier? We give them this introduction period. You need to decide how long that would be for your goats. Maybe it's only 3 days. Maybe after 3 days, your herd doesn't really seem to care that those other goats are over there and we're ready to move to phase 3. Maybe after 3 days, your existing herd is still extremely offended that these other goats have dared to walk onto their property, and maybe they need a little bit more time to get used to each other. This can go on as long as you feel it needs to happen, until everyone seems kind of calm, that they know each other, they feel familiar, and then we can move to phase 3. Phase 3 is actually moving your new goats into your herd. This is going to be an exciting day. You can't wait for everybody to be friends and get along, and you can go in there and just hang out with all of your new goats. But that fantasy is not real. Realistically, what's going to happen is you're going to take the goats, because now they've been introduced, they've been quarantined, they've been introduced, and now they're moving into this pasture with your goats. First recommendation is give them room. I would not put them in a small barn together. If you have any exterior space, I would give it to them. There's going to be a lot of head butting that happens, a lot of sniffing, a lot of shoving going on. Your existing herd is really now just getting the chance to physically rub up against these other goats and fight for position. So there will definitely be some fighting, a lot of head butting going on over and over and over again. If you're lucky, none of that's going to happen, but these are things you can expect to see, and they are completely normal. I've had this happen to me once, where this went on for weeks, that my dominant goat of the herd, Lena, was fighting our other dominant goat, Pepper, and they just head-butted all the time, to the point where Lena's head started getting a little bloody. So I had to separate them again. We had to go back to phase 2. And I actually put Lena aside and let Pepper get used to the rest of the herd while Lena was put away for a couple days, and then I'd reintroduce them and they'd headbutt, and I did this cycle, and then I put Pepper away and leave Lena out, and I was going insane. And then finally, after about 3-4 weeks of this going on, they were reintroduced, they did their headbutting thing. I was like, here we go. But they just kind of went their separate ways and were fine. And then occasionally would kind of come up to each other and give each other a headbang, and then that was it. They finally got over it. So it depends on the goat's personality. The other thing you can do to help transition your new goats when they go into phase 3 of being with the physical herd is rub down their heads and their necks with something called a buck rag. If you have bucks on your property, you can use them. If not, you can find another local goat farmer that maybe has bucks. But what you want to do is you want to take a rag and wipe down the stinkiest parts on that male goat, all over. Okay, make that rag nice and disgustingly stinky. Then you want to take it to your new girls that you're introducing to the herd, or your new wethers, whatever they are, and wipe down their head and neck with that rag. That perfume is actually very attractive to goats. The female goats really like that smell. They think it's fantastic. So when the new girl is introduced to the herd and she has this smell on her, they'll go maybe a little bit easier on her than they would normally. I hope this video serves you well and you have a successful time introducing your new goats to your existing herd. Like, comment below, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back with more things to learn about goats and having fun on the Whole Line Homestead. I'm Belinda Whole Line. All of my love. Have a fantastic day.